Reading, and not even plot related.
Dorothy, please, we're trying to count.
Dorothy continually interrupts her aunt and uncle's chick counting despite being asked and told nicely not to. Dorothy is addicted to chicks. This guy in the background is just standing and watching the others, almost as if he believes he's out of frame. Dorothy falls into a pigsty but emerges completely clean when she's rescued.
We can't play the song, but...
Whoa, teenage Dorothy sounds like a 45-year-old when she sings.
Well, that's for the sheriff to decide. Here's his order allowing me to take him.
How can you order the removal of a dog without any investigation into whether or not it was in fact the same dog that did the biting? For that matter, how do you make this order but then let the victim carry out the eviction of the dog?
Here's what I'm taking him in.
This easily escapable basket is easily escapable.
Elmira Gulch. Just because you own half the county doesn't mean you...
If she owns half the county, why does she ride a bike everywhere?
They'll be coming back for you in a minute. We've got to get away. We've got to run away.
Well, make sure you take the main roads then, and don't hide the dog even a little bit. Toto is a dick to hobo mind readers.
This I see, a house with a picket fence, and a barn with a weather vane and a running horse.
Okay, I'll give him the picket fence, but there's no way he saw the weather vane with the running horse in this photograph. I don't think this window even hit her head.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Luckily, Toto is Dorothy's inception totem.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Only bad witches are ugly.
Well, if that's true, then why do you even need to ask Dorothy if she's a good witch or a bad witch? She's clearly pretty, at least by 1930s standards.
I've never heard of a beautiful witch before.
Well, you still sort of haven't.
I thoroughly examined her.
What did you find during your thorough examination? That she had a house lodged in her abdomen?
Just follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah, thanks. Can I get one of those transporting bubbles, too? Okay, bye. I definitely won't need your services ever again.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Okay, I heard the witch and the other guy. And I'm on the yellow brick road already. How many reminders do I need?
Follow the yellow brick road.
Okay! Didn't you hear the guy who literally just left as you arrived?
Follow the yellow brick road.
Is following the yellow brick road complicated? The first 50 feet of the yellow brick road are a completely pointless spiral. What a waste of perfectly good yellow bricks. Bye, Dorothy. Be careful not to run into that painted background that's 10 feet away. Even if Dorothy and the Scarecrow managed to not see the witch hiding behind this tree 5 feet away, Toto should definitely have seen, heard, or smelled her. Toto should turn in his dog card.
I'll show you how to get apples.
Well, yeah, but those apples are all bruised now.
He's an oil can.
Dorothy somehow got her hands on the Tin Man Rosetta Stone software back in 1939 Kansas.
About a year ago, I was chopping that tree.
Dorothy starts to look at the tree, but then her head goes through a time warp and jump cuts back to the Tin Man in mid-sentence. Also, these alive, apple-throwing trees are going to be really pissed now that Dorothy has awakened the shiny serial killer from his rusty slumber.
The tinsmith forgot to give me a heart.
Fucking Geppetto. That guy forgets everything. Why does the Wicked Witch only show up to scare Dorothy along the road? Instead of just, killing her or whatever? And then while the heroes are skipping through the scariest, darkest part of the forest, the witch just watches them in a crystal ball instead of, killing her or whatever. Then she f***ing poisons them with sleeping potion. Sleeping potion! I mean, this is a witch who's clearly capable of creating fire out of thin air and throwing it at people, but she keeps going out of her way to not actually accomplish her goals of stealing back the slippers. Now Dorothy is sleeping inside her own dream. Hopefully she doesn't go too much further and end up in limbo. Oh, but don't worry, Dorothy's kick is a deus ex machina. Meanwhile, here's a really good witch that actually seems like kind of a dick, considering she could have told Dorothy about clicking your heels way back in Munchkinland and saved her all this trouble.
He's rusted again.
What? This Tin Man rusts in 5 seconds of light snowfall? That is definitely not tin if that's the case. Snow everywhere in this shot, but disappears in the next. I know, it's a dream. Whatever, right? Just like the yellow brick road, the Wicked Witch also makes a pointless spiral pattern before heading out in the right direction. So Oz has stations already set up to pamper scarecrows, tin men, human girls, and lions, all right in a row? The two R's in Surrender are further apart when the witch starts writing her message compared to when the message is completed. Also, at the speed the Wicked Witch was writing this message, there's no way she would be done by now. Well, she wouldn't have to surrender if you'd have just kidnapped her back on the road, you dumb witch. Is this guy crying out of his eyebrows?
Special care of those ruby slippers. I want those most.
All of these other flying monkeys apparently could read the Wicked Witch's mind and started flying before she gave any orders. Also, how many f***ing monkeys does it take to capture 4 people? Also, when the witch does finally act and kidnap Dorothy, it's when Dorothy's on her f***ing way to the witch's castle anyway. Why would a witch whose only weakness is water have a bucket of water just lying around in her castle for any reason? Also, if water is her weakness, how does she live? Are witches made entirely of carbon or something?
But they have one thing you haven't got, a testimonial.
A testimonial? You said the Scarecrow needed a diploma and you gave him a diploma. You said the lion needed a medal and you gave him a medal. The Tin Man needs a testimonial and you give him a giant heart clock.
And remember, my sentimental friend, that a heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others.
Which is no one. You're a Tin Man who chops down trees. Not much conversation there.
Occurred. The balloon failed to return to the fair.
Oz's speech inspires uninspired Sam Raimi movies 74 years later.
You don't need to be helped any longer. You've always had the power to go back to Kansas.
I have.
Then why didn't you tell her before?
Because she wouldn't have believed me.
I know Dorothy needed to learn a lesson, but oh my god, you whore. Wouldn't have believed you? That's the lamest excuse ever. Is there a house we can have land on you?
I think I'll miss you most of all.
Did Dorothy and Scarecrow have some incredible history that we didn't get to see during the course of this movie that would lead to her missing him most of all? Oh yeah, to all of you who think this was just a dream.
But it wasn't a dream. It was a place.
Ever since CinemaSins began, the most requested thing has been TV Sins, and now it's a reality. Click the link in the description below to check it out. And now, the audio outtakes.
Cal.
Well, about a year ago, I was chopping that tree.
Tree? I am no tree. I am an ant.
But I didn't scare you?
No, of course not.
I didn't think so.
The sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
That's a right triangle, you idiot! But first, you must prove yourselves worthy by performing a very small task.
You must cut down the mightiest tree in the forest. Way